All right, so today I'm going to share what they don't tell you about phlebotomy outpatient, okay? Number one, the lab order needs patient's name, last name, date of birth. I know it seems very simple, but sometimes they either don't have the last name or the date of birth. So that's the obvious one, but you have to have that, okay? Because you cannot just make assumptions, okay? All right, moving on. Of course, you need the ordering doctor. You might get labs. I know it sounds very silly, okay? That's why I'm saying that this is what they don't tell you. And it sounds very silly, but you might get an order with no doctor. You know, who's ordering the labs? All right, so you have to have an ordering doctor, and also it has to be signed, okay? The order must be signed, okay? Of course, you need the actual test, the name of the test, okay? Sometimes they might order something very unique that you have never seen before. Just take a deep breath, ask for help, ask questions. It's okay, okay? Find somebody around and be like, hey, is this the right order? Because there's a lot of hepatitis, okay, for example. So how do you know which one it is? Okay, sometimes the actual order has a test code, so you can match that to the computer, because everywhere you work, you must have some type of laboratory that you're working with, for example Quest. So they have a, I guess you could say, lab code, okay? And that's how you can confirm if it's the right test. But if you don't know which one to order, yeah, just ask somebody, okay? The more you order, the more you will be better at it. Another thing that you must need in order to process that order, before you even draw the patient, of course, you need a diagnosis code, okay? Sometimes you will get that order, again, you will get that order with no diagnosis code, okay? It might have the name, the date of birth, it might have the, you know, last name, first name, doctor's name, the test, and guess what? If it's missing that diagnosis code, even if you try, because it's all computer, even if you try to submit it, it will not go through, okay? When I was actually new, you guys, I didn't know that you needed a diagnosis code. And that, I don't know why, I was working PM shift and I was working by myself, and then I had an outpatient out of nowhere. So then I had to submit the order, like I was trying to put it in, and I would put enter, 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 and I was like a little bit scared, not scared, but I was like a little bit panicking, because of course the patient was still waiting, and then you cannot draw them technically until you have the actual order, the labels and everything. And it turns out that I was missing the diagnosis code. And the thing about that is that it's a little bit annoying, okay? If you work outpatient, if you're already a phlebotomist, you already know about this. But when there's something missing on the lab order, basically we need to contact the doctor's office, okay? And it's very annoying. I'm being very real right now, because sometimes they do not answer, okay? That's number one. And then number two, if they have to refax the order to us, they take a very long time. So normally I just let the patient know, hey, I will contact your doctor, but just keep in mind that it might be a wait, but I'll give you updates. And then I even tell them, if you want to come back, that's fine, but we will still follow up, okay? Something about outpatients, it's not really your job, is that patients will come to you, as you know, this is a laboratory, with no order at all, okay? So sometimes, to be honest, actually all the time, I call the doctor office and request that order, so that way they can fax it to us. But again, it's a big hustle, like literally. Some phlebotomists that I worked with before, they talk to the patient and be like, hey, there's no orders, we cannot just draw you, you need to contact the doctor, and I'll go ahead and give you our fax, okay, once we have it. Or you could just go to their, in person, and then they give you the actual order, which is the actual paper. you know, and then we can help you. But other cases, we call for them, but it's a big struggle because number one, they don't answer. Number two, once they answer, you request the lab order. They fax it over very late, like they don't do it fast. And then also, once they fax it, they might miss something. They might miss maybe diagnosis code, maybe the doctor did not sign, or maybe it's missing the doctor. It's like silly things like that. Sometimes what you could do is just draw the patient, okay? But either way, at the end of your shift, you're responsible for that blood, okay? You have to keep it on the side, and then you just keep calling until somebody answers, and then finally somebody faxes it over with the correct information, and then you process it. But you cannot just like draw the patient and leave it for the next phlebotomist, okay? Because other phlebotomists will not like that. That's part of your job. Let's say that's your patient, then it's your patient. You have to follow up, okay? But some phlebotomists don't want to deal with that, so they're like, okay, you need to call the doctor, okay? This is our fax. Go ahead and tell them that this is our fax number, that you are waiting here. That way they do it faster, but regardless, they sometimes take forever. Now we're gonna talk about urines. So when it comes to outpatient, okay, they are in and out, okay? They come just to get the blood draw, all right, and they leave, okay? But when it comes to urines, they need to collect now, okay, while they are here. So basically, let's say it's a dirty catch. You just give them the urine as is. Tell them, here you go. You don't even have to say anything, okay? So they collect it, whatever, okay? So let's say dirty catch, normally it's if they're checking for chlamydia or any type of STD, okay? That's what dirty catch means. When it comes to UA, for sure, you need to give this to them, okay? But the reason why I have 2 cups here is because I want to talk about how I give them the cups if they order both, okay? When it's an inpatient, let's say they order a clean catch and a dirty catch, the nurse will send the dirty catch whenever she's ready, okay? And then she will send the clean catch whenever she's ready. But outpatients, again, they're in and out, so they need to collect both now. And how do you do that? Well, let's go ahead and put number 1 on 1 cup, okay? Number 1, we're gonna put number 1, and we're gonna write dirty, okay? And I normally write it on the cup as well, in case they remove the lid, both of them at the same time, they don't get it mixed up. So basically, we put number 1, oops, I put number 2 here. Number 1 on the cup. Does it look like 2? Oops. Sorry. It's okay, alright? This is for learning experiences. I do my ones like that. But anyways, okay. So this is number 1. This is dirty, okay? This is dirty. And then on number 2, we're going to put number 2, clean catch, okay? That's what it means. Dirty catch, clean catch. So basically, this is how I explain it to the patient, okay? I tell them we need 2 urines, we need a dirty catch and a clean catch. The first catch normally is for STD, so we transfer the urine to another tube, okay? So I tell them we need just very little. Dirty catch means that you're not going to wipe, okay? So you just pee directly into the cup. We need a little bit of urine, okay? After that, we also need a clean catch, so make sure you wipe, okay? You want to wipe, pee a little in the toilet, that's how I tell them, and collect the rest in here, okay? Doesn't matter. Of course, if you the more the better, but even if it's that much, it's fine. It could be a little less, but I don't really tell them that it's a little bit less sometimes, because the more the better. But when it comes to this one, we just need very little, okay? So again, I labeled the cups, number 1, number 2, okay? Number 1, it's a dirty catch, so all they have to do is pee directly into the cup. We just need a little bit. Cup number 2, it's a clean catch, so of course they wipe, all right? And wipe, pee a little in the toilet, okay? And the rest in here. So this is what they don't tell you. Over time, you will become a pro, because I would get very confused when it comes to collecting both. I would get confused, okay? But I hope this video helps you. And after that, so for the dirty catch, it's normally for STD, any type of like chlamydia, gonorrhea. So basically, I don't have any urine right now, obviously. All right. But let me show you. Every workplace might look different to you guys, but basically you want to put urine enough only between the line. That's why we need very little. I don't know if you could tell, but it has a liquid inside, so it very little will be enough. Okay, so this is for number 1, the dirty catch. That's why we need very little. Okay, clean catch. Okay, the one with the wipe, clean catch, is normally for a UA. Okay, there's some tests that it could be, it doesn't matter if it's clean or dirty. That means that you could either give them a dirty, you don't have to say anything is dirty or clean, you just give them a cup and that's it. But we have this little thing, you attach this to this, turn it around, and then put it in the urine. And this is for your urine culture. Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen these. If you see this tube is with yellow liquid, it's urine. Okay, this is for urine culture. And then sometimes you could just give this to the department if you work at the near the laboratory, the actual lab where they run the test. But this is for this is for your UA. You just fill it up to the line. Okay, that's just a little extra information, but I just wanted to say that we don't only work with urine. We don't just draw blood, we also work with urine and stool. We also do stool. Okay, so normally if a patient's like an outpatient and it's a stool collection, we just give them instructions. Okay, it just all depends. There's different type of tests. We have to look up the requirements. Some tests need to be frozen. If it's an outpatient, we have to freeze it as fast as possible. But normally, the most common urine for outpatient, it could be UA or gonorrhea, chlamydia. Dirty, clean, 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 clean. Something else that they don't tell you, I look very scary, is that outpatients, let's say you mess up, like you order the wrong thing, eventually you would need to call the patient and they have to come back. Or like, let's say if it's QNS, that means that it was not enough blood for whatever reason. The patient has to, you need to call the patient and then they need to come back to the lab. Okay, if it's hemolyzed, your specimen is hemolyzed, you need to call the patient and then it has to be a redraw. If whatever reason something goes wrong with the specimen, we basically call the patient and they need to come back. That's the thing that sucks. You know, that's the difference between the outpatient. If it's an inpatient, it's a little bit better, just because, let's say something was hemolyzed, all you do is go back to the room, do a redraw. Okay, or if it's something QNS, meaning that it was not enough of whatever it is, urine, blood, then you just go back and collect the blood. If it's urine, we just have to let the nurse know, hey, it's QNS, we need more. So make sure you draw the right thing. But over time it will become better, okay? But either way, don't be afraid, just go for it. Just go for it. Meaning that if you are trained to order something, just do it. Because the more you do it, the better you will become. But regardless, once you submit the order, we have a stack of papers. So all of the orders go, we we keep him to the side, I guess you could say. And then within a week or the next day, or even the same day at the end of somebody's shift, they have to make sure that everything was ordered correctly. Okay, another thing that you guys must know, and I hope you guys are still watching, because when you put the order in, if it's a outpatient, you have to enter the facts. Okay, what I mean is, if whatever doctor order it, make sure you enter their facts, so that way the doctor will receive the results. If not, that's why we get a lot of calls. Okay, we get a lot of calls is because there was a lot of errors when it comes to ordering. Okay, so you did everything great. You have the diagnosis code, you have patient's name, last name, date of birth, it has a signature, everything. Okay, you did everything correct, except you did not enter the facts. Then maybe a week later, the doctor office will call and be like, hey, can you please send results for so and so? And then you have to say, okay, yeah, what test specifically are you looking for? And then you confirm and then fax it over. Basically, it's more work for you. But if you are the one ordering, just remember to always include the facts. Okay, I was eating some cookies. But I love outpatients. But let me tell you why. I love outpatient because, number one, they are normally ready to go. Okay, the patient automatically extends their arm and you just drop it. When it's inpatient, I still love it. I still do, but it's way different because, for example, morning rounds. Even if it's not morning rounds, you always knock before going in the room. But most of the time, inpatients, they're sleeping, so you have to go in there and pretty much, wake them up. You always catch them off guard, and they're like, here we go again. Okay, they're never happy to see you. Okay, never. Yeah, I mean, that's why be nice to them. Sometimes if I see it's an order that it's every Q2. Okay, if you ever see Q2, Q5, Q whatever, that means it's every 2 hours, for example. Okay, Q4 every 4 hours. If you happen to actually notice the pattern, then if it's inpatient, you can just let them know, hey, see you in 2 hours, just so they don't get off guard, and hopefully they will be happy to see you later. But normally they're never happy to see you. Sorry, but just try your best. Okay, be nice to them, talk to them at least for a little bit, and then say bye-bye. But the thing that I do love about inpatient is that, like, say specimen gets rejected by the CLS, the clinical laboratory scientist, meaning that they for some reason want to redraw for whatever reason. It could be QNS, hemolyze. If it's inpatient, you just go back in the room and then you redraw. Okay, the only thing that I do not really like about outpatient is that if we mess up something, okay, meaning everything from ordering the wrong test, or even if the sample gets lost, you never know what could happen. Okay, it could be mishandled. Usually we have to call the patient, and the patient, sometimes they're very nice, they don't mind, but some patients get upset that we have to redraw. Nobody wants to be drawn, but some of them are really nice. They're like, okay, no problem. Like, let's say it's an outpatient, okay, and I could tell they're very, very hard, and I already poked them. This is the second time I poked them because they're very, very difficult to draw. I normally tell them that I will go ahead and send whatever I have, but there is a chance that maybe the specimen will be hemolyzed. Okay, I give them two options. Okay, either you can just go home and we'll be good, or you could wait. If you have time, you could wait, but the thing is that we need to spin it down, okay, in the centrifuge, so that's the only way I will know if it's hemolyzed. Okay, but usually outpatients, we For all chemistry tests, we do SST. What does that mean? Okay, this is a pop quiz for you. What's an SST? What do you have to do before you centrifuge it? Ding, 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 ding. Yes, you have to wait for it to clot before at least 30 minutes, but normally I just flip the tube. If it doesn't move anymore, clotted. Okay, and then I spin it down. I do that occasionally, not every single time, but the patient sometimes is willing to wait a couple minutes instead of like coming back another day. Okay, or sometimes they're like, it's okay, at least you give them a heads up that it might get rejected, so that way they can keep it in their mind. Okay, maybe I will have to come back, but sometimes you have no idea. Okay, you find something after they left. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye bye.